Hi, I'm Van Wallach in Katona, New York. This weekend, I am attending my 40th Princeton reunion. Princeton makes a big deal about reunions, and I've attended all my major ones, which happen every 5 years. So this would have been my 40th. As you can see, I'm going to be attending it from my quarantine campus here. Physical reunions are canceled, but we are having a great weekend of activities as digital. You know, you just can't keep a good class down. Now, as part of this, I get to wear orange and black attire. I'm hoping this is orange enough for you, as is all the other Princeton paraphernalia I have stacked around me. One thing about going to Princeton, you acquire a lot of stuff over the years. It starts on campus with your thesis, shirts, the diploma, etc. But things really start accelerating once you start going to reunions. Every 5 years you get a new reunions costume, multiple shirts, hats, buttons, bags, and of course on your 25th reunion you get your fabled beer jacket, which a lot of people prefer to be buried in. It's a Princeton thing. So I found that a lot of this Princeton stuff is very practical. Like, I got this bag for my 30th reunion in 2010, and it is my go-to bag for pandemic-related speed shopping in the supermarket. I can get a lot of hand sanitizer and paper towels in there. So, with all the stuff that we get, it can really make Princeton a hoarder's delight. If you're kind of a compulsive self-chronicler like I am, you're going to save everything. And so here's just some of the Princeton things that I have. I was on the managing board of the Daily Princetonian in 1979, and for proof of that, I have this deluxe bound volume of the Daily Princetonian, volume 103, and it makes for great reading. You go through it and you can find a lot of cool historical stuff, like future Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan, class of '81, ace reporter, doing stories about student government president and future New York Governor Eliot Spitzer, class of '81. Talk about different paths in life. So there was that, and then I have my Nassau Herald 1980 from my senior year, which I have stuffed with postcards and letters and notes and things from different classmates. I have a lot of clippings in there from the New York Times wedding section of the Princess Brides of the class of Princeton 1980, when they appeared in the Times in their blushing bride-to-be stories. So every 5 years we go through this, and it means a lot to us. But I realize that most of us have friends and family and spouses who don't really get it. They're not into the Princeton spirit so much, which is okay. There's no reason for them to. What they do get from it, though, is a great appreciation for how easy it is to get us gifts related to Princeton. All you have to do is give us something orange and black, and we'll, like, hey, a black cat. Okay. And we'll squeal with delight. So over the years, I've gotten this Princeton banner, class of from 1940, great looking. I get these annual orange Shinola yearly planners, which are very practical. I have gifts from friends that went to Princeton, so I got this cool letter opener from a friend's wedding, December 18th, 1993. Another friend gave me this lovely box from Puerto Rico. It's very decorative. And the more I think about it, though, there's a lot more to Princeton than just hats, shirts. Can't even remember what some of these things are that we collect over the years. And Princeton kind of starts to create kind of an ecosystem around us. So for example, I look on my bookshelf, I still have this book from my undergraduate years, an English class I took that had a huge impact on me. Collected Poems of W.B. Yeats. Great stuff. I've got books written by people that I did stories about for the Alumni Weekly or the Daily Princetonian. And I start thinking, though, about an even broader circle of things that go beyond my house. You think of classmates of mine in the news. You got Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. You have former Ambassador to the Ukraine, Masha Yovanovitch. You have the guy who wrote this famous book, A Kosher Dating Odyssey. Well, maybe it's not so famous. But there's like a whole web of relationships that are what really makes Princeton great. And yes, we go to reunions and we have the hats and the cups and the flasks and everything else here. But what really makes it special to me are the associations from friendships that are renewed in 5 years, getting together with people that maybe I didn't know on campus, but once we kind of get out in the world and have families and issues and heartaches and, you know, the stuff of life, then, you know, where you went to school and where you work and how big your house is doesn't really matter that much. And it's really just a matter of who your friends are and relating to each other. So kind of in closing here, we're going to have the virtual P-Raid today, which is great. In a couple of weeks over the summer, I'm going to be getting my actual 40th reunion costume. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure I'm going to be wearing it in other videos. And I'm sure it's going to be just as beautiful and understated as what I have on now. So thank you. Let's all have a good P-Raid. And if you didn't go to Princeton, raw for your school too. Thank you.